transform myself. But under the full moon, I can't control myself, and I know that I'm much stronger.
Maybe there's a thread there.
I've been told that I'll even talk to people, but I can't be reasonable. I've had folks tell me that things, yeah, it's like I'm not me anymore.
Understood. So it will be a battle if we are to save you. We'll have to fight you to save you.
Well, let me put it this way. All your planning couldn't be for nothing. But if I do say so myself, I am a very formidable specimen. And I'm telling you that this curse, it's gonna put up with me. I've been fighting it my whole life. And it will howl at the moon.
Do you have any, you have your forces, your men, your women. Do you have any extra?
You would do well to have all my soldiers very far away from me.
No, I understand that, but what about their...
Because they will be under my control.
Yes.
And they will turn against you.
Do you have any explosives? Any,
Yeah, you do.
The box.
Yes.
The comet.
Perhaps we keep with all the stuff in that cart. Maybe not all of it, but enough to give us an edge against Luke-Guru. Some bottled comets. What else was in there? Was there... Oh, we didn't see it.
Yeah. Well, with
It
that.
says we have 8 bottles. I don't think there's someone out there.
We could use those to
Oh, shit.
strikes. Give Rudy the opportunity to have the killing blow quite quickly.
It is pretty slippery now.
If we can somehow get me in distract him with the bottle comet, and maybe make me invisible and get me out of there and get back in and out some way.
Bear in mind, of course, you were planning on using these bottle comets for the Countess, so use this resource very carefully.
No, I say we take one each. Save the rest for the Countess, but... Raph, I know that he'll be able to smell us. So perhaps turning us invisible doesn't do anything, but casting fly on us, allowing us all to keep our distance.
Well, what if we spread our scent around the area preemptively? We figure out an area and know where we're going to do it. Use the census.
Could we throw off their scent by leaving garments of ours, other bits?
You left all your clothes in.
Cover ourselves with mud.
I think, let me put it this way. You might be able to, but you're tricky. But I wish I could tell you that I acted like a fool when I'm transformed. The one thing that I can smell, and I can smell too when I'm transformed, is a trap.
But just because you smell a trap doesn't mean you can avoid
That's true. Now, if you're gonna try to blow me up, like, you know, you're really gonna heal me half it. Like, this isn't what it takes, right?
Exactly.
it. You're the one putting these thoughts in my head that we need to blow you up, Rickard, so I hope that we are on the same page, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure you die and come back.
Well, not die. Almost die. And if you need the reassurance of said unicorn, I'm sure within the next few days we can get you talking with Charlemagne and
We should have a meeting with all of us.
talk about a plan. I think between the comets, between potentially creating a stone thing underground before it transforms,
We seal him in stone. We scatter our scent. We cast fly. We throw bottled comets. Rudy,
Just remember that if you do use anything like a bomb, I will regenerate from that. If you don't seal it with silver.
I think then it's best that the two of us try to lay down as much damage as possible while Rudy seals that damage in.
and I can prepare every time you hit him, then I hit him with the axe.
I think as long as we have a few seconds, right? Your healing doesn't happen, like it takes a few seconds. So if I blow you up,
Basically, at the start of each of his turns,
Yeah.
he regenerates.
yeah, so as long as
Yeah.
Rudy hits him every turn,
Yeah.
it seals that damage in.
It's really going to depend on how the battle gets laid out. Initiative
You're
wise.
going to unfortunately need to be in close quarters with him constantly. Well, the two of us are going to stand back and try to pile on as much damage as possible. We're going to have to aim those bottled comets to not affect Rudy. We might, still think that we seal him in the ground,
Okay.
hit him with bottled comets, and then Rudy runs in, bashes him with the axe. He'll probably break out. And then we just keep it up.
And as long as he's been hitting with silver, he won't gain experience.
And as long as you're toe to toe with him, I can look for openings and jump in and try to hit weak spots.
So just so that you know, with transmute rock, if you transmute mud to rock, this is what happens. No, non-magical mud and quicksand in an area no more than 10 feet deep transforms into soft stone for the spell's duration. A creature in the mud, when it's transformed, makes a dex save. On a successful save, the creature is shunted to a surface
Oh.
outside. Now you could technically have him there before.
That's the idea, is
Yeah.
he willingly gets in the pit and we seal him.
On a failed save, the creature is restrained, and the restrained creature can use an action to try to break the rock by making a DC 20 strength check, or by dealing damage to it. The rock has AC 15 and 25 hit points, and is immune to poison.
Either way, that takes up a turn. That's the idea.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it to take up a turn.
Yeah.
And maybe he rolls a 1. I don't know.
Who knows?
It's a chance.
Who knows?
But I think that's worth taking, as long as he's willing to get in the pit, because that's important. We set that up before he transforms.
Okay.
And is there anything additionally magic craft that you think we need to add?
Well, we can do among the robe of useful items is a pit.
Oh!
So once we find our clearing, once we find our place, maybe place the pit, fill it with mud, dirt.
No, just fill
Maybe we should dig the pit because then we actually have the dirt.
Yeah,
maybe
then it
that's-
will be muddy.
Yeah,
We don't need to waste your
We
magic.
troll it up. We mix it up.
But do you have anything else in there that we could, I don't know, like a horse and livestock to throw at him?
Some mastiffs.
Throw some mastiffs at him.
I also have a question.
Whip dogs.
Absolutely. Just to be clear with rigor, the livestock might throw him off only if there's not enough. So like he's still as intelligent as a man.
I totally understand. I'm just, if we can throw more bodies on the board, if we can throw more meat shield, if we
We're
can.
just trying to kill mastiffs, like mission accomplished.
No, if the mastiffs can get a few bites, okay, you know what? We don't have to kill your magical pocket
I also
dogs.
probably should have mentioned that, I still have all my memories. So it's not like I'm going to forget this conversation.
We should probably be having this conversation away from.
Does that? So you'll remember that you want us to do this, but you won't be able to stop.
Rickard have to be transformed into the wolf form for this to work? The whole time?
The Luke Guru must be mortally wounded under full moon hairless.
So at least if he takes the mortal wound while he's in his womb, under the moon. Correct.
I mean, this is magic, so don't try to legalese your way out.
I know. Is he a shape changer?
He is.
Okay.
What do you,
Well,
should we go?
Moonbeam,
Yeah.
a shape changer makes a saving throw, and if they fail, they revert back to their original. And I'm wondering if that will undo. I guess it would undo the magic.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do that.
We don't want him to revert back.
But I like the idea of Rickard. How comfortable are you being hurt now? And we do some pre-work on yeah. We rough you up a bit.
Probably gain that
Chop
back.
off an arm,
Just
leg,
poke you around a couple
pull
times.
your teeth out, maybe.
How comfortable are you being closer to mortally wounded than you are normally?
I mean, you can if you want to, but it's going to regenerate by then.
Oh, right here.
Unless we do it with give Rudy a couple of free swings. I know earlier you really offered the decapitation trick. Maybe we don't go that far, but we sort of explore. Look, Rickard, I know that you are a powerful being, and we will do our best while you are under this control to remove this curse. It may be our only way of. We made a deal.
I will also put this out there. And I have no idea how powerful you are. The three of us fought squid-faced creatures from another dimension. We fought a giant fish monster that was mind-controlling an entire city. We fought rapping creatures in a submarine, or that owned a submarine somewhere, in a boat. We just came back from fighting a demon with tiny wings that flew through the air with them regardless and bit my leg. We fought a hydra.
So why do you need my help again?
Because vampires scare me.
Ah!
More quantity than quality, you know, that we're having the problem with. It's easy to get overrun by many vampires.
So after all that, you're scared of a lovely lady vampire.
It's more so that the vampire rests in a castle surrounded by minions that is hard to infiltrate. I know this castle. It is meant to withhold siege and battle. It is not easy to get in and destroy a vampire when it is surrounded by all of its minions. There were 20 or so coffins in the basement there. Creatures came after us, and we had to lock the door behind us. Being overwhelmed is not going to work in our favor. Recruiting you and your men means that we push the odds in our favor.
You know that once you undo this curse,
But you are still a valiant warrior.
yeah,
We're still strong.
I mean, wounds 2 days away.
What he suggests, if I may say, is we destroy the Countess now.
So then you can't die.
Well, not by her hands, not anymore.
Rick, we've had every chance to double-cross you, to escape, to flee. But we have kept our end of the promise, and we will see it through. Now, I know that you have a history of offering people what's the best dollar, what's going to get you ahead. But if you truly want this, and I believe you do, then I need you to be a man of your word. And if you think it's best that you and your men add the power that you now hold, help us take on the castle.
I mean, she hired us. Right? And I gotta say, I'm gonna tell you, you know, if you cure me, you know, it's like, how do I know you're gonna, like, you've done a, yeah. Yeah, we can do it.
Know that. Regardless of who you are or what you've done, we go above and beyond to help those in need. And we may have started as enemies, but we see that you're in need. We are willing to put our lives at risk. Right, boys?
We have this far. We just came back from
See, I don't want to become. I don't want to be your wild dog. I don't want you to hold this promise and free me from my curse over my head. I don't want to know, you know, we're going to do it right away.
We have the full moon, and I don't want to wait till the next one. It's in all of our best interests that we do this in 2 days. The druid and the unicorn have come to help. They too want to go home. All of us want to go home. And when the curse is lifted, if the castle is free, Rickard, I offer you this choice now. When the curse is lifted, you can choose, if you want, to join the Hooded Lanterns and fight in an army beholden to the name of the Von Kessels. But if that is not in your interest, if you have a family to return to, or you want to settle down and your days are over, then I give you free leave to end your reign as one of the greatest warriors. Put your boots up and retire. That choice is up to yours. Whatever suits you best when the curse is lifted is up to you, and I will allow it.
All right. All right. Let me go talk to the boys. Elias Drex is upstairs.
See?
We will confirm.
The man leads you up to Elias Drexel, who immediately expresses incredulation at what you've accomplished. He says, Willa, I'm so sorry. You've proven yourself wise and brave man. You and these and Rudy Rat. I don't believe what you've accomplished. This is incredible.
Thank you. Just trying to do our part.
I have to admit, when I saw you, I thought I was going to be throwing my life away again. There might be hope yet. You might not realize this yet, but maybe you're not king the Westamar deserves, but you're the king that it needs.
It's a burden that I have to contemplate for some time. It seems like the name is coming out.
We need to be careful. Even though it is likely, even as you position yourself, you can't let
You haven't told me that.
He is the captain.
What
Maybe
is
now
the-
you know.
He is a person. He is a person who works for the company. He's not leading.
He He's a person that's part of the academy. There's a difference.
He's our friend who just risked our lives. Just saying.
I don't want to make a big issue of this right now, but I just want to keep your identity under wraps. It's for your safety. We don't know who will take advantage of that information and use that against us. Now, this business that you discussed of curing record steel thing. I have to say, there's one risk that we take by bringing him in there with the steel fangs before curing their power. They're still under the employ of the Countess. So if there's still a bunch of werewolves working for a vampire, we can go in there and they can still turn on us. And then we have two very powerful enemies. We have the opportunity now, if we cure him first, we can make sure that
But then we're losing a large advantage. Having
the advantage of everything.
Against everything that we've heard, this is going to sound unlikely. I trust Rickard. Only because he wants this. More than anything, he wants this. He's told us as much as he can about his curse. If he was an enemy, he wouldn't tell us that much detail about how to fight him.
Do you both believe Rickard's telling the truth as well?
The truth is that he could betray us when we arrive at the castle. He could destroy us when we try to remove the curse.
He hasn't moved against us yet.
And we've done all this because if we do not have his forces, and if we do not take back Kessel against the Illyrians, we may not survive.
It's a leap of faith, but in good faith, I've proven to Rickard that we are honored.
I believe that the safest thing is to throw the steel fangs in first. We can't admit it. If you want to engage them, having Rickard directly confront the Countess.
My plan is that the Steel Fangs lead the charge against the castle. The Hooded Lanterns, as archers, as you are all valiant archers and great at range, will back up the Steel Fangs with arrows and bows. The three of us, we know, I still have, I pull out the old key, I think, that I have to the Kesselholm steward's door, or the servant's door. We have alternate entrances. Not only that, but I'm wondering if that waterfall we saw in Dreamland exists in the real world. We could come up from below. We have many ways that we can get into the castle. Think of us as the special operations.
And I suppose that with this magic axe, we do have an insurance policy if we do need to kill them.
Of course, but I really don't think it's gonna get to that point. I think if we ended up curing him before we did this, he could still turn on us. They'd just be human as they did it. So he either turns on us then or turns on us after. Either way, we're in a tough spot.
To be honest, I think there's a very good chance that if we did cure them beforehand, that many of them would simply desert. There's a lot of these warriors that are only here because they're cursed.
Once this is done, they're free to leave, but it helps us to have them in full force.
One last fight to atone.
Yeah.
We don't want them to lose the wind in their sails.
Yes. Alright then. We've walked a long path to get here, but we have all the pieces in place. What is our plan?
Like you said, we're gonna send the werewolves in. I think we need to know which entrance we're going in.
The Hooded Lanterns are wanted by the Countess as well. She tried to capture you, Elias. She tried to capture some of your men. What if the Steel Fangs go to the castle with the Hooded Lanterns, saying that they've captured some of the troops? Once in the castle, they start the attack. With the attack in progress, the three of us at the same time will be sneaking in underneath the castle. The Countess may be up dealing with that situation, but I'm sure quickly enough we're going to cause enough ruckus. We're going to pinch from the bottom of the castle and from the top of the castle inwards. And you'll leave the Countess to us.
I don't feel good about using any of my soldiers' weight. It's going to have to be me.
I agree. I don't think it's gonna be anything but Blast Drexel that's gonna draw the Countess out.
What if we use the four of us? We are the
all
bait.
going?
Lose the element as pronounced.
Under the guise of we can take the container of explosives, empty out all but what we need. We hide amongst it. The Steel Fangs carry us in, and we perform some sort of ancient horse-like sculpture ritual where we dive out of it, surprising the enemy.
I got one that also keeps us. What if we get a few soldiers to dress like us, like last UB1? That way they think they are bringing us in, and then we can still.
We do also have the, what did we call it? The dream blanket that we need to worry
We
about.
need to get, yeah.
So I like your plan. I like the
You want to get
horses.
the
Yeah, this is the tough calls. I actually love your plan. I actually feel like kind of the full frontal assault is. I mean, we still surprise them, and then we're all there. And the hard part with the pinching is we don't know where the Countess is going to be. And if the Countess attacks Elias and Rickard, I mean, they're both incredible fighters, so I'm sure you could hold her off, but we would have no way of knowing. We'd be in the dungeons searching the castle while they have to fight the full force.
Remember, the Countess is not alone. She has her own soldiers, her own defenders, her own servants. It's entirely possible that she does not personally engage, and if ambushed, immediately seeks an escape.
This was actually my hope. The idea is that the Steel Fangs and the Hooded Lanterns take on the troops so that they don't swarm us. If we can get to the dream blanket, heal it, then as the Countess goes for her escape, we meet her in the dungeons and confront her.
Have her come to us.
This green blanket, strange, but what you say is true. You said the Dreamland was a place of twilight. The Countess is a creature of night. Perhaps her intent was that if ambushed during the day, this gives her an escape to cover darkness.
So perhaps an attack during the day is appropriate because then it's her only escape. She can't leave the castle during daylight.
Yes.
So if we can go through perhaps that tunnel that's still there, find the portal to the dreamland, take it, confront the Countess. Well, the battle wages in the court, in the Countess's chambers.
We will need to coordinate carefully. Because I think that if things are not timed properly, if she catches on to something too soon, she may move to escape before you can secure it. But at the same time, if your infiltration is discovered, then she might not allow us into the castle to begin with.
Yes.
So they will have to happen at the same time. As myself and Steel Fangs go into the castle, you will need to already be moving into position.
We'll probably need some sort of signal to start it all at the same time.
That sending stone is one way to river.
Yeah.
We could coordinate based on dawn. At dawn, we could enter the cave below.
As the sun rises,
Tesla.
we begin.
Perhaps we should strike before. While there's still darkness. To surprise the Countess. She might be more reckless before the sun rises. But she knows she still has darkness.
I don't want to give her enough time that she could escape, but perhaps an hour before dawn, we begin. Giving her time to think that she has the advantage. She might lose track of time in the heat of battle.
Indeed.
She might think she has the advantage because it's still night out.
Then, if we take away her dreamland exit, if she tries to flee out another way, if we smash a window, if we can bring her out of the dungeon to a place where she's more vulnerable.
A cornered predator fights to the death. So be aware that if we do cut off all her means of escape, she is going to fight her hardest.
And so will we. And if we can kill all of her minions, then there's more of us than there are of her. And I believe that the Steel Fangs are more formidable than her. And we, as long as we have the upper hand.
Okay. Looks like you guys have your plan in motion. Is there anything else that you want to set before you enact all this? Is there anything else that you want to prepare? Because you will, with this plan in motion, if you need anything, if you need any supplies,
I was going to ask, what do the Steel Fangs have that they can offer us?
they can offer you 3 potions of greater healing.
So we each get one.
How are you doing on those? I have
one.
2.
I now have 3 with this one.
I now have 2.
Okay, I have 3 as well. I may want to contact another plane.
Okay.
As Bruce has reverted to his more natural form, the one that I'm familiar with,
Yeah.
I start to become frustrated with the lack of knowledge that he can provide in this form. You know, in Dream World, there was this connection that was maintained and clear, and the channel was strong. But now it is foggy and faded, and I can only get glimpses. He would know what's best.
Okay, so you'd like to cast Contact Other Plane?
Yes.
Okay. A bit of a risky move, but you still would, even if you fail, you still have time to enact this plan by the time your sanity is restored.
I'm gonna let the druid. If I go too crazy, what you need to do is tell the druid. Tell Charlemagne, I need his horn.
Okay.
All right, Wrath. He's gonna go talk to his cat for a while.
I need some time. I must confer with Bruce.
It's alright, we'll just plan the rest of this.
Yeah, while you chat with your cat, we'll go plan an attack on a castle. Thanks, Wrath, as always.
What? Well, to.
We've already walked away.
No, before you. Bruce's knowledge is deep.
You're following us? That's what
Yeah. Wait.
Bra. Nei. Den veien som er fra oss og ned til hovedveien på en måte. Ned til Trondheimsveien, den gamle Trondheimsveien, den var veldig glatt. Da måtte jeg bråbremse og ratte for å ikke krasje i to biler foran meg. Så det var såpeglatt, men veien som går derfra bortover til skolen var vanlig. Ja. Nei. Akkurat nå så kjører jeg ut av tunnelen. Får se hva han er der nå. Eller se på så kan du se på YouTube-streamen min som jeg har på. Da ser du bare veien. Har du ikke lagret? Det var... Ja, jeg kan sende deg linken. Ja, men da må du støtte meg på det greia. Ja, ha det.
I reach out to him and ask for his assistance. There is little time. There's no guessing what must be asked of Bruce. What do you believe I should?
Wrath, if you need to feed your cat, just feed your cat. Don't make it a big theatrical performance, okay?
Look, Bruce is the reason that we're here. He sealed the gates
All right.
that prevented the something coming into Dreamworld from another dimension and devouring us, including
You do
the
that
unicorn.
thing again. Where listen, if you can, fine. Ask your cat how to kill a vampire. Ask your cat how to infiltrate a castle. Ask your cat if he knows any secret entrances.
Well, I mean, can he predict what kind of forces the Countess has?
These are all great ideas.
Great.
Would not love the sarcasm.
I'm not being sarcastic at all.
Is it just because I can't conjure oars on command? Is that why you look down upon my... right? Like,
No,
it's just so
it's
frustrating.
the
Like,
theatrics,
she
Brad,
cut down,
the theatrics.
Rudy cut down a bunch of trees. You can make oars out of those. There,
I know,
done.
but, like,
you
we're
don't,
gonna
you don't
go-
need me for more oars.
We're
I
gonna
can
go-
wield it with my giant axe.
We're gonna go plan an attack. You're gonna go feed your cat. You just like to make it sound cooler than it is.
All right. I leave in a huff.
Cool, Wrath, you do you.
And I go find a small patch of grassland. I'm gonna be outside.
Let him do his fancy magic, and
I'm
we'll
going to
do
let
the
him.
planning.
I'm
It's
just-
fine.
Or my room. No, I'm gonna go to my room in the lodge, and I start to draw the circles on the ground to begin the ritual of contact other plane.
Okay. Make an intelligence saving throw.
These are easy for me. 20.
What? Oh my gosh.
Did you roll a natural 20?
Yeah. I don't.
All right.
We're making
I didn't
20s
think,
happen
I didn't
today.
think that was
Wow.
gonna happen.
Handing out those 20s. Oh, man. So instead of going insane and eating a towel the first time you can, like some other mage we know, the first time.
Yeah, what's with that?
I feel like there's the bond from Dreamland is still quite strong, and it is easy to reestablish a link to Bruce. The channels are still. I can still feel them. I can still feel his presence.
Yeah.
In my mind, and as I draw circles around my cat and feed him the last bits of fish people that I have. It's quite dry. You know how fish gets, and I reach out to him.
As you finish casting the spell, your mind opens to where you glimpse into the void, and you behold a fraction of the true form of Bruce. The cat purrs, the humming fills your ears. It is waiting for you to answer your question.
Are you proud of me?
You get one question, right?
You get 5.
Oh, no.
Ja.
Have I done well?
That's 2. The response to the first question comes, pride is my. The second answer, Cornell.
Will Ripper betray us? Do we have the means to kill the Countess?
Yes. What is your final question?
I have so many.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of something, but also, you know, Wrath is very, what is
Sure.
your next request of me?
Sikkert.
The purring grows louder, and it responds with a single word. Victory.
And then I imagine as quickly as this link was created, it starts to vanish and dissipate and flicker, and then it's back in a room with a cat.
Yep. The cat does that thing where like they lick their chops and then just starts cleaning.
I know what I know now. He's really proud of me. Actually, very proud of me.
Just Wrath alone in a room.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sick. So sick. Wrath is jazzed. The most powerful spell I've ever cast.
Also, the most emotion Wrath has ever shown is alone in a room after talking to his cat. He finally has a moment that breaks the mold of Wrath.
Contain yourself.
We're not even there. We're in the war room. We're planning.
You know, what seems like an eternity, but only probably about 15 minutes goes by, and then I join you two.
Good job with your cat.
The rest of the day is spent in preparations. And obviously introductions are made between Caddick, Garlamine, and as well as Rickard and Elias. The plan is set in motion that the Steel Fangs will bring a covered wagon with the Hooded Lanterns prisoners and drive it up to Kesselholm as the group of you prepare at dawn. I just want to check in. Rudy, is there anything that you wanted to do before you get all this done?
No, I think. Do I still have the sending stones to my family?
Yeah.
I send them a quick message, be like, have a great time on the road. Hope y'all are well. Miss you. Kisses.
They tell you the response comes as an exhaustive list of what they had for dinner.
Oh my. Where's this hero's feast that we heard about? I'm hungry now.
Oh yeah, we are supposed to have that before.
And that evening, as you prepare to bed down before you get up at dawn, Tadok conjures forth a hero's feast. And it is very much like a hunter's feast. What appears is venison, game meats, duck, wild fruits, nuts and berries, all the things that you would find, like what you could imagine as a hunter's feast, conjured forth. So, with the benefits of this spell,
I only eat the duck.
Daisy.
each of you,
Oh no.
your hit point maximums are increased by 10.
Jeg slipper den her.
You are immune to poison and fear.
Tusen takk.
And you make your wisdom saving throws with advantage for the next 24 hours.
Now, from the time we do the feast, does it hit the
Benefits
full
last
moon?
24 hours.
Does it hit the full moon?
It will not.
And wisdom saves are.
It's like maybe we can do this at the same time.
Alright, so immune to frightened, wisdom saves have advantage. Rolling dice. Is it immune to fear or resistant?
Immune.
To fear. Cool.
Yeah.
We are weak, getting coffee.
67 hit points. I'm almost as good as normally are.
All right, well, eat up. Good stuff.
So
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna bring I'm gonna bring Elias and these others dressed up as you up to the castle. You're going in underground, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, when you do, we'll try to catch each other as I go over the bridge. And that'll be the signal that we're all on point. You're gonna have to move real quick once you're in there, okay?
Yes.
Of course, Wrath. Anyway, you can turn us invisible before we go in.
We can use the form of invisibility. It lasts up to 1 hour. I can cast it.
everybody know.
Yeah, and we could at least I was just wondering if you wanted to do it like as we get there. Is that the idea, or like just before we get there?
Just about.
Yeah, just
Okay.
as we're
Yeah.
just like before we're in eye shot of the castle, we cast it in an hour. By the time an hour's up, that should be enough time that if people are alerted to us, the battle will have begun.
And so you want to go in the servants' entrance, like through the servants' tower.
Are we able to like maybe this night before we go to bed, like can Houdini or something scout to see, is that entrance from the Dreamland in the real world? The waterfall entrance?
The waterfall entrance.
I'm just saying.
No, that's okay. It's I'm just thinking you can only go so far as a familiar, right?
Yeah, only you can go far, but you can only like see through their senses from 100 feet.
Okay. Yeah.
What about
Then, do I know where does the servants' entrance open up to?
So, as you recall, just to remind you of the structure of the game, I will have it built out for next week for you, but it's actually important that we discuss this so I know what to build out specifically for next time, because it's the big castle. So, as you recall, Castleholm Castle straddles this ravine, right? There's a bridge that goes across. There's a gatehouse on the southern side, and the castle's on the northern side. It's a square keep with rounded turrets on each side, and then there's bridges that extend to two other towers. The tower on the east side is where the stewards' quarters are. There is a doorway it forms a little courtyard. So you can get in through that door, but then you actually have to take the secret entrance to get into the main part. But then you also know that there's the secret entrance into the main cells through that tower, right? Now, what you do also know is there is another secret entrance, but there's a drainage pipe from the castle kitchens that you could take to get in. But Wilhelm, from what you recall, that would lead you into the kitchen, so then you have to go through the great hall to get into which would bring you into the pillars quarters. So from now the servants' entrance door, getting that is on the wall. So you would either get there by scaling the wall or going down back up, or you need to fly somehow. There's a bunch of different ways to get in there, but if you're all invisible, that's going to cover your entrance.
Yeah. So my thought is that we turn invisible. Because we're unsure of the waterfall entrance, maybe it's best that we just use the servants' entrance.
Yeah.
Under the cover of invisibility, we sneak in. With my boots, I can climb no problem. I could fasten a rope for you two, if you want.
so we don't need to fly?
Yeah. Save your spells. We get in through that entrance. We sneak down into the dungeon. Our main priority is to steal the moon blanket,
Yeah.
or the whatever we're calling it.
Avoid all the things on the way as much as we can.
With invisibility, hopefully some rattling
My
chains and
son's
doors
boss
slamming are.
managed
I
to.
mean, it's a pretty haunted castle. I hope that you don't
Yeah,
notice.
you
too
remember
much.
that way. Also, there
The
was
school bus my son was going to take today
wasn't really
managed to
friendly for
crash.
people just walking.
So they had to be
Big Rudy ripped
taken
a few
by
of those
car
off.
instead.
I hope they haven't had time to repair them.
Had quite a few days. Awesome.
Repairing a wall in a grate takes more than a
Well, the other thing is, instead of the servant entrance, we could go through the well.
Yeah, you can just leap right down.
Down the well, and then if we have to take off a grate and lose our invisibility, at least for me, I can do it.
True. Then why don't we head down the well?
Okay. All right. So your goal is to get in, jump down the well, and get right to business.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Sounds excellent. With your plan in place, the final thing that Elias Drexel says is I'm going to mess that. He hands you a flare. There's 4 canisters that you can fire. Black smoke, red smoke, green smoke, and blue smoke. Okay. If you've got her, there's a very good chance that if you get her, we're going to be in battle elsewhere in the heat with the rest of our soldiers. If you bring her to battle and manage to slay her, fire the green smoke. If you bring her to battle, but you need help, fire the red smoke. If you are going to retreat, fire the blue smoke. And if Wilhelm dies, fire the black smoke.
Not any of us. Wow.
Now that we all have smoke colors, let's
Do we assume I'm... okay.
keep the black one loaded.
So,
So I've just been talking about cat a lot.
So what I'm getting at is green, we kill the vampire lady.
Yeah.
Red, we need help with the vampire lady. Blue, retreat. And black is the king is dead. Alright.
On our end, if we engage the Countess, if the Countess ends up engaging us, we will fire the red smoke. If we need to retreat, we'll fire the blue smoke. If Rickard betrays us, we'll fire the black smoke. And if we secured the upper floors of the keep, we'll fire the green smoke.
now if we're underground, how...
The smoke, again, it just lets us
do our
know.
best.
Like it's the easiest way for us to find out from each other what's happening.
We'll at least be able to shoot it out of the well. So, more likely, if we go to shoot something out, we'll see if there's smoke in the sky.
It just lets us know as soon as you can tell us.
Absolutely. Perhaps, if Houdini
Carry it up there.
Yeah, the familiars can't really fire it.
Well, no, I was thinking more that Houdini could watch the skies, because we're going to be underground, so we wouldn't see them shoot a flare. But we also might want Houdini for the battles.
Yeah, you can keep an eye out.
Yeah, we'll look through holes.
Right.
Great holes.
With that, your forces assemble, and starting next week, we will get ready for the infiltration.
Oh.
That's what we're gonna have for the night. That was a lot of planning, but it felt like we needed a lot of planning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting ready.
We need to figure out all our ideas, get them out.
Oh.
You know what?
Yeah.
General, can you mute it?
I can...
Videos.
Hei, pitäisikö tänään vihdoin maalata toi olkkarin seinä?
Vai pitäisikö kuitenkin vielä vähän suunnitella?
Me ollaan vähän suunniteltu 8 vuotta. Pitäisikö nyt vaan tehdä?
Katsellaan syssymällä.
Syksyhän meni jo.
Eiku ensi syssynä tarkoitin. Jos sitä pitää pohtia, se kannattaa todennäköisesti myös tehdä. K-Rauta auttaa alkuun ja eteenpäin. k-rauta.fi/remppa.
Good evening and welcome back to the Shadows of Ragnheim. This is
For the campaign.
Tales of strange magic, unspeakable terrors echo through the villages and towns surrounding that cursed place.
Part 44,
Now, the
Court of
Dust
the
Lord,
Countess.
a new band of heroes, are tasked with driving out the seeping tendrils of the spreading darkness before it takes root.
welcome back to the Shadows of Ragnheim. When last we left our heroes Working together with the Steel Fang mercenaries and the Hooded Lanterns, they brought the fight back to the Countess Constance Kleinkessel, the current occupant of Kesselholm Keep. Coming up with a plan of deception, our heroes infiltrated to steal the blanket of night that would allow to get rid of the Countess's escape plan, which she did indulge in because they did. Our heroes managed to successfully force her to retreat. However, when she encountered the fact that she could not escape into the dreamland, well, strange. Are we okay? Okay. Strange things happened from there. For the Countess willfully contaminated herself, transforming herself into a creature of legend known as a striga, a contaminated monster that evokes the old legends of the ancient vampires of old. The striga now howls over Kesselholm Keep as Dawn.
Osuuspankin omistaja-asiakkaana saat 40% normaalia enemmän OP-bonuksia vuoden 2025 loppuun saakka. Ylimääräisten bonusten ansiosta maksat vähemmän esimerkiksi vakuutusmaksuja ja pankin palveluja. Tutustu etuun tarkemmin osoitteessa op.fi/bonus.
Good evening and welcome back to the Shadows of Drakenheim. Your threat Tuesday and every Thursday up
9 p.m.
Welcome back to the Shadows of Drakenheim. When last we left our heroes, they woke up from their adventures in the dreamland and returned to the waking world, new allies in hand. Coming together at the Kesselwald Lodge with Rickard Steelfang and his mercenaries and Elias Drexel and the Hooded Lanterns, our heroes concocted a plan to finally confront Constance Kleinkessel. Our hero's plan is as follows. Let me make sure I've got this correct.
Brush it up if you need.
Okay. The Hooded Lanterns and the Steel Fangs will be entering in the front doors of the castle, presumably with the Steel Fangs bringing Elias Drexel and several other soldiers who are disguised as you three as bait to sort of Trojan horse the situation. Meanwhile, the three of you will, under the cover of one of Rath's invisibility spells, sneak up the ravine and into the well to enter the castle. Then what is your plan?
The well.
We get in the cave,
Yeah, down the well.
down the well, we retrieve the blanket of dreams.
Because the theory, I believe, is that if there is danger, the Countess will try to flee. With it being sunlight outside, her avenue of escape is this portal to the dream realm. So by stealing it, when she comes to escape after the attack is triggered, we will be there waiting for her, and there will be nowhere for her to run.
Okay.
Cross our fingers.
That's the plan.
We also have some instructions from Elias Drexel in terms of if things go south. He gave us a flare gun to alert because they won't be able to engage the Countess, and we may need their help with the Countess. So once we find out where she is, shoot the flare.
Once the blanket is acquired, it's going to be like a pincher move where she's going to be somewhere in the castle. And if it's daylight out, she won't have anywhere to go. There is also the idea that dawn is breaking while this is all happening, so she might have the illusion of safety by thinking that she still has some time, giving us possibly an opportunity to get her in the sunlight.
Chase.
chase her out.
Chase her out.
Well, with that,
Well, I have arrived, so I'm
you
gonna stop
and
the
Steel
stream. Pause the
travel
podcasts.
together, skirting the outskirts